The night was eerily quiet, the kind of silence that makes your skin crawl, like the calm before a hurricane. But at 3:30 a.m. on July 9th, 2021, that calm shattered when flames erupted through a home in Trenton, New Jersey, turning it into a raging inferno. When firefighters arrived, the house was no longer a home, but a towering pyre, its windows glowing like the eyes of a demon. Inside, 4 lives were being swallowed whole by the merciless fire, 3 adults and an innocent baby. The first responders were seasoned, but what they discovered when the smoke cleared was the stuff of nightmares. This wasn't just a tragic accident. No, it was something far darker. The flames weren't born of faulty wiring or bad luck. They had been lit by human hands. Hands belonging to someone who should have been protecting the very people he destroyed. The cruelest twist of all? The baby who perished in the fire wasn't just a victim. She was the murderer's own daughter. Like a twisted Greek tragedy, this horror was rooted in love turned sour, a tale of jealousy and vengeance that spiraled into an act so monstrous it seemed impossible to believe. And yet it was all too real. The story begins with Princess Jones, a vibrant 24-year-old mother whose world revolved around her 9-month-old daughter, Malani. Princess lived with her parents, Tiffany Abrams Jones and Prince Jones, a couple whose decades-long marriage was celebrated both in private and publicly on social media. Tiffany, 42, was a beacon of positivity, and Prince, 50, was her steadfast partner of 24 years. The couple had recently marked their wedding anniversary, a milestone celebrated with friends and family. Their love story was the kind people admired, a fairy tale, now cruelly rewritten as a horror story. Adding to the household that night was 18-year-old Zamir the Cray, a relative visiting for the evening. Together they were a picture of warmth and family unity, completely unaware of the storm brewing just beyond their door. Princess was in a relationship with Michael Sanders, a 23-year-old man who, at first glance, seemed like the perfect partner. In the early days, their love was intoxicating, laughter-filled dates, whispered promises of forever. But, like a rose hiding thorns, their relationship soon revealed its dark side. Michael was possessive, quick to anger, and consumed by jealousy. Arguments erupted like summer thunderstorms, unpredictable and dangerous. Princess, hopeful for change, tried to mend their fragile bond, especially after discovering she was pregnant. When baby Malani was born, the family celebrated with overflowing joy. Tiffany meticulously planned the baby shower, making sure every ribbon, every cake decoration was perfect. Michael was there too, mingling and smiling, his outward cheer hiding the black storm clouds gathering inside him. To everyone else, he seemed happy, the proud father-to-be. But beneath that facade, rage simmered like a dormant volcano, ready to erupt. In the early hours of July 9, that volcano finally blew. At 3:40 a.m., neighbors awoke to the sound of popping wood and screams. Flames tore through the Jones home with a hunger that seemed almost alive. Michael Sanders, fueled by resentment, had made a calculated decision. If he couldn't control Princess, he would destroy her and everyone she loved. Like a puppeteer pulling strings, he'd planned every move, even sending Princess a chilling message hours before. Get the baby out of the house. By the time firefighters arrived, it was too late. Tiffany, Malani, and Zamir were pronounced dead at the scene. Prince was rushed to the hospital, clinging to life, but he would succumb to his injuries days later, becoming the 4th victim. Ironically, Michael had killed the very child whose birth had once brought him joy. The baby he claimed to love became collateral damage in his quest for revenge. As investigators sifted through the ashes, they quickly realized this was no random tragedy. Surveillance footage told the tale. Michael, cloaked in a dark hoodie and white gloves, walking past the house just 15 minutes before the fire erupted. Michael at a nearby gas station buying a torch lighter and cigars, his mask slipping for a brief, damning moment to reveal his face. Moments later, the glow of the fire reflecting off a camera lens as he walked away. Like breadcrumbs in a forest, the evidence led straight to him. Detectives also discovered Michael's discarded gloves and mask, further cementing his guilt. But Michael wasn't new to violence. Investigators uncovered a disturbing past. Months earlier, during a heated argument with an ex-girlfriend, Michael had fired multiple shots into her car. No one was hurt, but it was a glaring red flag that had been tragically ignored. Days after the fire, Michael was tracked to his home on Bayard Street in Trenton. He had been hiding, but like a spider caught in its own web, he couldn't escape. Police found damning evidence inside, including the hoodie seen in surveillance footage. He was arrested and charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder, arson, aggravated assault, and more. The prosecution painted a chilling picture of Michael's actions, calculated, premeditated, and fueled by rage. They showed the jury the surveillance footage, the text messages, the burned remains of lives snuffed out too soon. The defense tried to argue that Michael wasn't in his right mind, that his actions were impulsive. But the evidence was overwhelming. This was no accident. It was murder in its purest, coldest form. Every day, Princess's family sat through testimony that felt like salt rubbed into open wounds. Yet they stayed, determined to give voice to the victims, Tiffany, Prince, Zamir, and baby Malani. After weeks of emotional testimony, the jury reached a decision: guilty on all counts. Michael Sanders would spend the rest of his life behind bars, stripped of the freedom he had so violently stolen from others. The verdict brought a bittersweet relief. Justice had been served, but no sentence could bring back the laughter, the love, or the baby's sweet giggles that once filled the Jones home. In the wake of unimaginable loss, Princess and her surviving family turned their pain into purpose. They became advocates for domestic violence awareness, sharing their story so others might recognize the warning signs before it's too late. Though their hearts remain scarred, they keep the memories of Tiffany, Prince, Zamir, and Malani alive. Like a flame that refuses to be extinguished, their love burns on, a light against the darkness of one man's evil. This tale is a haunting reminder that monsters don't always lurk in the shadows. Sometimes they smile at baby showers, hold your hand, and whisper promises of forever, until the moment they reveal their true, terrifying selves.